Welcome to the Rise of Virtual Cheese Awards 2025, showcasing the very best of British cheese. My name is Cara and I'll be moderating this session. This session, we will be judging Class E2, the washed rind class, which is always very exciting and needs a very firm set of judges who know what they're talking about. So I would like to introduce you to this morning's two phenomenal judges, the wonderful Charlotte Smith-Jarvis and the incomparable Mr. James Grant, who are going to just introduce themselves and let you know what they do. Over to you, Charlotte.
Hi everybody, so I'm Charlotte. I'm the digital editor at Specialty Food Magazine and Great British Food. I spend a lot of my time eating cheese and writing about cheese. I'm absolutely delighted to be judging here for the first time this year. And we've got a beautiful array of every shade of orange washed rind cheese here. I'm really, really thrilled to be tucking into these with James.
Over to you, James.
And I am James Grant. Yes, so I'm from number 2 Pound Street, Delhi in Buckinghamshire. I'm also a co-founder of the Real Cheese Project, and I'm delighted to be judging at the Virtual Cheese Awards with this incredibly smelly round. It's not quite 50 shades of grey, it's 50 shades of orange, ladies and gentlemen, and they are pen and inking in my room right now. So I'm very excited to get stuck into this cheese.
Fantastic. So our judges today will be using a point system for scoring against the 4 different attributes of appearance, aroma, texture, and flavour. The winner will be the cheese with the most points and will go forward to the best category finals, which will be filmed live on Tuesday, the 11th of June. We're going to dive straight in with cheese number 1133, please, guys.
Absolutely. So we've got a washed rind cheese, which is firm. It's got a beautiful, beautiful coloration. Pretty much the same all round. A little bit of white specks of mold there as well. It's like peachy pink, orangey peachy pink. Delicious.
Little
It's
holes
a hard cheese. Looks great. Doesn't look anything wrong with that at all, as I would expect. I think it's a raclette style cheese by the look of it. So I'd imagine this melts absolutely beautifully on top of your pickles and spuds. So let's give it a dive.
It's got a touch, for me, my one has a little, it's very, very buttery on the nose. And it's got the tiniest hint that it's not a smoked cheese. I can get a little bit of a smokiness from the rind. Lovely thin rind. And actually for a washed, I think washed rinds can scare people off. They hear the words washed rind and they immediately can back away. This is not one that's going to offend anybody on the nose.
No.
Lovely supple texture here.
It's got a fruity nose as well. It's also almost slightly human smell.
I heard that one before.
And do you know what? I'm getting a bit of smoke through. I don't know if you are, James. I'm getting a little bit of smoke through this, like a woodland, bosky, smoky flavour through it, along with the sweet butteriness. That's what's coming through quite strongly for me.
I'm getting a little bit of tree bark, but in a really nice tree bark note.
Yeah, you're in the woodlands, aren't we?
I'm in the woods. I'm in the Chiltern Hills now. The sun's shining. I'm getting that lovely. I'm getting like slightly smoky note, as you said.
Yeah.
Delicious. It's a very enjoyable cheese.
And it's not too rind forward. Quite often with these kind of cheeses, the rind can overpower. But I feel like it's really, really well balanced between the outside and the inside. It all marries really, really well. Very well balanced cheese.
The paste is nice. The fat's beautiful. It's a very rich fat. This cheese is made up of.
Like you say, this will melt absolutely beautifully. Like at room temperature.
It's quite dense. It's got a lovely buttery, like proper, like salted butter nose, a slightly brothy,
Yeah.
umami note as well.
It has.
It's a cracking cheese. I think as a cheese board cheese as well, this style of cheese would be absolutely fine as well. It's delivering
Yes.
enough flavour. I think a lot of people get slightly, when they buy a cheese like this, they have a cheese similar to this in France called raclette. They tend to just save this for preparation of meals, etc. But there are more people coming to the fact that cheeses like this, and I think if this is a UK-based cheese, it's perfect on a cheese board at the same time. It's really nice on the cheese board at the same time. It's got that beautiful salted butter notes to it. I really like that. I really like that. I'd serve that with some caramelized apple puree, just to complement it. Maybe with browned butter and apple puree, just as a quenelle or a rocher on the plate to go with it. But
A little bit of cider as well. A bit of cider on the side to go with it.
Absolutely, definitely have a great cider to go with this as well. But I'd go for a proper still, proper unpasteurized real cider, a proper cider that works, and maybe with Kingston Black, which is the sweetest of all apples. Lovely, rich Kingston Black cider. They're generally prized for they're prized for the cider that the Kingston Black can produce because they're so sugary and rich. So it'd be perfect for this. Yeah,
I think this kind of cracker as well is going to work really well. I'm just going to try a bit because you don't really want to. You want to let the notes of this cheese come through.
Yeah,
I think
I've just eaten a load of this cheese, and I've just seen that we've got a load more to go. I've got to stop now.
Say, with that in mind, guys, shall we start scoring? Start with appearance.
Yes. So as far as the appearance is concerned, I'm going to give this a 10.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it.
No, it's very unblemished. It's got like a tiny bit of mold on there, which is what you would expect. It looks very uniform, very, it's a great example of a nicely cut piece of cheese.
The paste is fine. Absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
Aroma?
Beautiful. I'm getting fruity, almost peachy and smoky notes and slightly human notes on the rind. It's really, honestly, peachy. You know, you get like a peach with all that white, that like fine fur on the outside, that kind of smell. I'm actually getting that.
Yeah,
and I'm again very jealous.
Sorry.
Yeah, good.
What can I score it, guys?
10.
10. I can't fault it at all. Yeah.
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 We're going to have eaten the whole thing by the end of it. I mean, the texture is beautiful. It's what it should be. I would be happy to give the texture a 10 as well.
James?
Yeah. Yes, I think that's fine.
I can't think of anything I would want to be different about the texture of the cheese.
This is what it is. This is how this cheese is. The texture is as
what about flavor, guys?
Always the same. Always the same. Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Flavor is, for me, it's a very beautiful, rich flavor. Not overly rich, but rich enough for this style of cheese. Yeah. The rind lends a beautiful note of flavor to the paste. Combined, you should always eat this cheese with the rind. It's so important because that gives that really lovely brothy umami note. Have I had any? Would I think it could deliver any more?
Doesn't sound like it.
I would probably go 9.5 because I think a little bit more of that meaty smokiness could come through, but it's not a deal breaker for me. I still think it's a fabulous tasting cheese.
I'm gonna stop you giving it a 10, guys.
I think it's a great example. What would stop giving it a 10 is I'm very conscious that cheesemakers are watching me talking about their cheese at this point. And although I've been around cheese for more than 2 decades, I still get very fearful when I talk about cheeses like this. I'd like to see more brothy notes through the
Yeah.
cheese. I'd like to see it slightly more brothy, even slightly more buttery as well. I know this. I do know this cheese, and I love this cheese. And I think to be able to be fair in category for all of the cheese we're about to take, I think it would be wrong to give it a straight 10.
Yeah.
So I think
We can
judging
always
by
come back if you change your minds at the end. We can always come back and revise that.
we may need to come back, but I think at this stage we should be at 9.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy with
Charlotte,
that.
you said 9.5 to start
Yeah,
with.
I'm happy
James,
to
you
go.
said 9.
I'm happy to go with a 9 on this. I agree with the points that the same points I was making. I
They were
would.
very much the same as you were making.
Yeah, I would. I think that extra point is for the real wow factor when you put it in your mouth and you go whoa, and that's like I just want to eat all of the cheese, and like I'm 9/10 of the way there. I just want that extra bit of wow factor.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for clarifying that, guys. We're going to move on to E21213.
Here it is.
Hold her closer up to the camera for us, Charlotte. Thanks.
There we go.
It's very very grapey on the nose, grapey alcohol.
It's quite farmyardy, isn't it? Like I'm on the farm.
Yeah.
I'm in the dairy.
Very
Farm.
very sweaty, human sweaty. It's very big toe, middle toe sort of smell. Nice, true.
Yeah, it's definitely got a strong whiff of ammonia in there as well.
It's a lot more developed action from the brevy on the outside. Linens are kicking off in a big way. I'd imagine it's going to be quite exciting.
Yeah. The texture is it's quite delicate. It's quite fudgy, quite melt. It's quite melt in the mouth, actually, this cheese. Wow. Very spicy. Piquant. You're definitely getting the farmyard. It's a little bit more bitter towards the rind. There's some acidity got lots of acidity there.
It's an interesting rind, which has been quite highly developed. It's slightly granular. That's because of the deposit from the linens, the way that it's been washed and left. It leaves this granularity to the surface, which is naturally been engendered by the yeasts and molds. It's incredibly meaty.
Very meaty. It's giving me Livero vibes.
Yeah, it's incredibly meaty, isn't it? And brothy.
Yeah. It really packs a punch, doesn't it? It's got
that alcohol note on the rind on the nose.
And the allium. Allium, oniony.
Yeah, lots going on. Going on.
I can read. It's got a very long flavour. It's got it's got that maturity. You can taste that sort of mature strength, sort of like just lingers on your palate for such a long time afterwards. And it sort of just becomes more oniony, more brothy. It's just giving a lot of this cheese.
Really, it's quite an acid cheese.
It is
quite acidic, which is a slight letdown for me. How acidic it is. It's farmy and meaty, but slight acidity to the point of my histamines kind of reacting as a result. So it's sticking, cloying to my mouth. I think again this will be a raclette style, melting quite well as well.
Yeah.
But
I'm really enjoying
the rind is dominating the flavour of the cheese for me in a quite a major way. So as far as the look of the cheese is concerned, should we go to scoring?
Yeah, let's do it.
The look is, I think, fine. It's been packaged
Been backpacked,
in a vacuum pack, which you can see, which isn't always the best. Isn't the best look, but we can't mark them down for that at all.
The rind looks lovely.
Opinion. So I think, as with others, we should. I think we could probably hit a 9.5. There is some. It's heavier on one side as far as coloration is concerned to the other side, where it's a bit lighter as well, which is interesting. I don't know why that should be. You notice that on yours as well?
Not a great deal, no. Maybe just a very tiny amount.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going 9.5 as far as the
I agree.
Looks. As far as the aroma's concerned, it's very powerful and fruity and alcoholic. It's like grapey, winey, oniony, as you said, allium.
Yeah.
And human, definitely like smelly feet.
Definitely, mine's got quite a bit of ammonia in the rind as well, in the back end of the rind as well.
Is it something you should mark the cheese down for? No, I don't think so. I think this is what you'll be expecting with this cheese. As you said, this is a very difficult category to judge, Cara, when you're looking for the smells that wash grain cheeses give out. You're meant to be, and you will experience smells that you go oof at. So I don't think we can mark that down for this cheese. This is what you'd expect.
Yeah, that's what we've got to judge on.
Sometimes on washed grain cheese is sometimes overly pronounced, or the cheese has gone on too long, where the rind has developed so much more, but this hasn't. It's firm to the touch. It's not sticky. It's been controlled well. So I don't think we can mark that down. So I'm thinking a 9.5 again, rather than 10.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, absolutely.
And then the texture of the cheese in the mouth is fine again, isn't it? There's nothing wrong. In fact, I like the granularity, the sandy note from the rind that we get, which is engendered by the deposits from the microorganisms on the cheese, by the way it's been washed and then dry brushed, etc. So you get that. So it's the deposits from the microorganisms. So that's quite interesting and quite amazing, actually. So you've got a fairly firm rind, but when you bite into it, it transitions nicely and neutrally into the paste. So I think a 9.5 again for that.
Yeah, I agree. I love the sort of, it really melts in the mouth for this kind of cheese. You don't have to do a lot of work in the mouth. No. You don't have to chew it a great deal to release the flavour. No. It's very, it's a very pleasant texture. I agree with that score. Yeah.
So if we talk then about the flavour of this cheese overall, I think it's very dominated by the powerful rind. If you're eating the cheese with the rind, which indeed you should do, it does give. It's very weighted to the rind, which is incredibly brothy, human, and fairly acidic, quite acidic as well. The cheese, there's quite a high acidity for me. On this occasion with this cheese. Every maker is slightly different. But for me, that's the only reason why I've marked this down slightly, is because of the acidity of the cheese being slightly too much for me. So I'm looking at a 6 or a 7 for this.
Ooh, I really enjoy the flavour. I think I love those fruity notes. I love the real length of onion you get from this. It just reminds me of a very sort of very, very sort of vintage farmhouse cheddar. It's got that real kind of length of onion and frothiness through it. I love that.
But what other
But
notes are we getting from that? So we're getting that. I get all of that. But
yeah,
what other flavors are we getting? It's dominated by that one.
yeah.
It's fairly dimensional, that flavor, which is the kind of oniony acidity that we're associating with the cheese. Are there any other like big buttery notes? Is it doing a full circle? Is it giving you a spectrum of flavor, or is it just giving you a flavor that's more acidic dimensional? And I'm getting that acidity as a dimension of flavor that's running through. I'd like to say when I taste cheese, I like to see the creamy lactic notes. I like to see that, and then to see other notes of flavors develop, because you can get cheeses that taste 3 to 4 different levels of flavor, top,
Yeah.
middle. You know what I mean? I'm just getting one main drag on this. That's why I'm bringing it down a peg.
Charlotte, what were you thinking in terms
I personally don't find it too acidic. I'm getting more of the piquancy, the spiciness from it. For me personally, I would give it an 8, because I really think it's got quite a bold flavour. I do see where James is coming from, but I think it sort of, it has the flavours you would want if you were buying a sort of a pungent. If you wanted a pungent washed rind cheese, this really whacks you in the face with flavour. But I do see where James is coming from, that he wants to sort of see more peaks and troughs in that.
James,
Yeah,
you were coming
it's
at a
just
7. Charlotte, you're coming at an 8. Are you happy to settle on a 7.5?
Yeah, I think 7.5 would be good. To be fair, I'm getting far too top acidity for me. So I think 7.5 for me would work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Hey,
Right.
next cheese we're moving
Amazing.
on to is E21102.
Perfect. It looks like a cheese in a similar vein.
Yeah, it does look very similar, doesn't it? But it's got a mine has a smoother rind.
Yeah.
One of you mind holding it up to the camera so we can see the rind as well as the paste? Fantastic. Thank you, guys.
All around.
Yeah.
There's a very gentle nose.
Do you know what it smells like to me? It's a very random smell. It smells like Welch's purple grape juice.
Right. That's pretty random.
That's what I'm getting. Or like
grapey on the nose, then.
Woodland strawberries, wild strawberries.
Yeah, that's good. I'm just getting kind of straw. Wet straw.
Berries.
Ooh, very gentle.
Berries.
Very gentle rind. There's nothing really harsh there at all. The rind looks fine. There's
a few pockets on the edges.
Yeah, a few pockets on the edges, but no, it looks good. Looks fine.
I'm going in.
Quite buttery on the nose when I cut through it. There we go. Cut through.
That flavour does carry through from the rind as well. The actual, that like wild strawberry flavour is carrying through. For me, it's a tiny, tiny bit too salty and sharp, acidic.
The texture's not quite right for me as well. If you look at the texture, it breaks.
Yeah, it's a bit too friable, isn't it? But
yeah, it's quite.
You what? Sorry, Charlotte?
Friable, so a little bit crumbly.
Quite rubbery.
Not holding. Yeah, well, not crumbly. It's not. It's kind of falls apart in the mouth a bit, but not in a flaky.
Because it's very fruity.
Very fruity. I'd imagine this tastes to me like it's been washed in a perry or something like, or a cubed cider or something like that.
It's really nicely. It's nice. It's got a pleasant fruity note to it. trying to think of the fruit that it reminds me of. It also reminds me of a sweet that I had when I was a child going to school.
It's the grape sweets, I'm telling you. It's grapes. It's purple grape and wild straw. Like it's the wild strawberry, like the wild strawberry hubba bubbery kind of thing you would have got when you were a kid.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Bubblegummy almost somehow.
Bubblegum, that's it.
Yeah. There's a little bit bitter on the finish for me.
Yeah, it's a pleasant cheese. There's not a lot of depth to the cheese. I think, as you said, it'll probably melt really well, I'm sure. There's some butteriness to it as well, which is quite pleasant. There's not a lot of length on the palate with this cheese.
No, there isn't.
No, let's judge this.
Score it.
Let's score it. So as far as the aroma is concerned, or presentation, I think the way it looks is it's fine. It's got to be a 9 or 9.5. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong at all.
9.5, shall we?
9.5, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, on to aroma, guys.
There's not a big amount of aroma we're getting from this cheese. It's very, very delicate. Again, there's nothing wrong with the smell of the cheese. I'd like to see or smell more on the rind.
Yeah. For me, it's a 7. It's a 7.
7, yeah.
Personally.
Yeah, 7.
Yeah.
Texture.
Texture lets it down. It's very springy. And it breaks up in the mouth as a result as well. So I'm going to mark this on a 7, I think.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's kind of almost we've obviously judged another category of similar cheese. So it's got that almost a bit squeakiness somewhere within there. It's kind of got a little bit of that going on, which doesn't give it. It's nice and smooth. It's nice and supple, but I think it could do a bit of work on the texture to make it a little bit more cohesive and smooth.
And then finally, the flavour.
The flavour is not massively delivering. It's giving a relatively neutral, pleasing flavour without being very complex. And there's a slight astringency to it as well, as Charlotte mentioned. So I think it will be a 7 for me as well.
I would say 6 or a 6.5 maybe. I just feel like it needs to give more. I feel like it could be a little bit more punchy.
Personally. Yeah, we can go 6.5. That's fine. Yep.
Okay.
Perfect.
Guys, the next cheese is 1214, please.
No worries. Here's one I prepared earlier.
It's our first non-round cheese of the day, maybe, or square cheese, rectangle cheese.
It's a square cheese.
It was square cheese. It was a
square about me, apart from the cheese. Got a great smell.
Yeah.
Kind of bakery notes as well. Yeasty.
It does. Yeasty.
Bakery, brioche.
Yeah. It does.
Like the smell of that. Slightly bacon notes as well. Fried bacon.
Bang on the money there. I would agree with all of that. Very yeasty, very sort of sweet, just out of the oven croissants. But quite bacony when you cut it. Quite you kind of. Yeah.
I gave the delivery driver of my cheese last night a croissant. Just been delivered, by the way.
Oh.
So he hadn't eaten. I really wanted it myself when I saw it.
Oh yeah. That's very, very fruity. It's giving me cider apples.
It's a lovely cheese. It's very delicate.
Yeah. Really, it's boozy without being overpoweringly boozy. It's just like that hum of like that fruity, yeah, cidery fruitiness going through it. And I love the texture. It's very melting.
The texture's lovely.
Mm.
And so quite boozy as well. On a gentle boozy note.
Mm.
A bit Chenin Blanc-y.
Mm. And you really, if you closed your eyes and you didn't know you'd eaten cheese, like you say, on the nose you have that croissant-y, yeasty smell,
Yeah.
and you can really, on the end of the palate, you almost could have just had a really lovely fresh croissant.
Yeah.
That's what that's that yeasty butteriness is what you left with, and sweetness.
Yeah. The rind is great. It's
Yeah.
it's beautiful. The rind development on that is gorgeous.
Yeah, it's very
And they've
uniform, isn't it?
done really well. They've made this into a magical little cheese. Yeah, like this
It's
a
very
lot.
elegant. Very elegant for a washed rind, I would say.
Let's judge it.
Yeah.
Looks spot on for me. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I think that's a 10.
Yeah.
I love the fact
Yeah.
that the equilibrium of rind as well, how it's just perfectly integrated into the paste.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Very nicely done.
Yeah. The smell for me is beautiful. As we said, all of the above, I'm going for a 10.
Yeah, I agree.
As far as what was the next bit? What have we done wrong, Clara?
Texture.
Thank you. The texture is great.
Yeah,
Lovely
it's
mouthfeel.
wonderful.
The rind integrates perfectly into the paste. It's another 10 for me.
Mm-hmm.
The flavour isn't a 10 for me. It's great, but it's not. I want to be more. See, it's not as much.
I would go for a 9.5. 9.5 maybe. I think it's a really great. If you're having a washed rind, this is a really great sort of table cheese. It's a washed rind, but it's not gonna offend anybody. And it's got a really developed flavour that's quite different to anything else. I really, really enjoy the buttery, yeasty sweetness that's coming all the way through. It's got quite a lot of length to it as well. Like when I finished eating it, it was there for quite a long time. It's like it's just quite a relaxed washed rind cheese. What would you go with?
I'd go with a 9. The reason why I go with a 9 is because the rind is beautiful. The paste doesn't deliver as much as far as complexity is concerned of the buttery complexity that I would want to see in this cheese more. It just seems to be quite delicate, really delicate. Is that a bad thing? No, it's a great thing, but do I want to see it richer? I think I want to see it richer.
Okay.
What are you thinking, Charlotte?
I know I've just gone back into the middle without the rinds. I think it still has quite a good, for me it still is giving without the rind. Right. Without the rind, I'm getting more of a sharp bacony. No, with the rind combined, it's giving me the full picture.
But the paste is not as, it's not going to be as luster as the outside. Of course, it's not, but.
But my paste is giving me quite a good. I'm getting a really rounded, beautiful flavour from both parts on there individually.
I'm getting a very lactic, salted butter note from the heart of the cheese. I think if we can meet me halfway and we go to 9 on that.
Okay, let's go for a 9. Very good, very, very lovely.
isn't it? It's a beautiful cheese. There's another cheese
Stunning
that's very
cheese.
on the same point. I think we need to go back anyway to
Yeah,
reassess a couple of cheeses at the end
yeah,
of
I do
this.
think
I
so.
was going to
Let's see
say,
what-
I really want to go in and find out what that one is, guys. The way that you're describing it sounds phenomenal.
I think we know what
It is. It is.
Okay,
but it's delicious, absolutely delicious.
we're going to move on to 1169.
Yeah, yeah.
Look at that.
Hello.
Ooh, little.
Does mine look
very
completely
bright.
different colour to yours, or is it just my screen?
It might just
The
be the screen.
unfortunately.
Mine is like a pale orange.
Wow, that nose.
Very meaty, very bacony.
Ooh-wee.
It's
Wow.
punchy. It's smoky. It's punchy.
Very meaty.
Very
very
meaty. Appearance wise,
It's a
I mean,
ball.
yeah, it is a ball. It's a puck. It's a puck.
It's a puck of cheese.
It is a puck of cheese.
Puck of cheese, puck of cheese.
Quite unusual.
Yeah. You see
Thank you, James.
Nice little paste.
Yeah.
Is
Good
it
level of
bright?
rind. Quite a thin rind. Oh, it smells really. Smells really. We're going to say this word a lot today with these cheeses. It smells very brothy.
Brothy.
Yeah.
Beautiful paste.
Yeah.
Texture seems amazing in my fingers.
Yeah. Nice and pliable. Oh, I'm not sure about this. I'm going to try it without. The rind is overpowering everything for me. I'm getting a lot of bitterness and almost like a rubber, like a burnt rubber kind of flavour.
Something crunchy in there as well.
Mm. And for me,
That's right.
trying the middle alone, it's just a touch too. So it's too lactic and salty for me.
It's like very, very salty. It's not delivering on flavour for me on any level, really.
No.
I'm not really getting any flavour from that. I think I'm going to have
actually,
to
at the end, I'm tasting. It almost tastes like burnt milk. That's what I'm getting as a sort of.
Do you agree, James?
It's quite salty.
Yeah.
Overly salty,
Yeah.
which is giving the impression of the burnt milk towards the end.
Yeah. It doesn't.
It's I'm
The
afraid
texture is
it's
good though.
I think we need to judge it, but I don't.
Yeah.
It's very, very short on the palate as well. Interesting.
Shall I start this time? Appearance. I mean, it's a nice looking little washed rind cheese.
Lovely looking cheese, isn't it?
I mean, if you have it on the cheese board, your friends would go, "Oh, that's interesting." What is it?
It's really exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I would say maybe a 9-ish.
9.5 again.
Oh yeah, 9.5. It looks quite attractive.
Yeah.
Aroma?
On the aroma, it's a very intense, ammoniated, meaty nose. Nothing massively wrong with that, given the category that we're in. So I'm thinking 9.5 again.
Yeah, I would go for a 9.
I find it very tricky to be able to judge that without knowing the biome more. But I think that's a 9.5.
I would be happy with a 9.
9, yep.
Yeah, for me, there's just a slight, obviously because of the ammonia. Mine smells a bit too. There's a bit of a chemical smell to it, which I don't find very pleasant. but I can get the bacon. I can get all the other aromas that you would expect. But
Yeah.
I think that I would knock off a point for that chemical aroma that's coming through on the cheese.
Yeah. I think you got a fly in your room. Is going after the cheese.
Oh, I know. It's annoying.
It's the smell. It's the yeast.
It's a smell. Apologies for anyone watching. I'm in the countryside. I'm in the countryside. You see.
Where are you?
Suffolk.
Nice.
So yeah, near the woods as well. So all the animals are coming in, even though the windows are shut.
Great. Share it with them. They love it.
Texture. I think the middle. I think it's got. It does have a nice.
Texture's nice.
Supple, pleasant texture.
It's some grainy notes I'm getting from the rind as well.
Yeah.
Which is when I put that in my mouth, I'm getting some crunchy bits, which is quite interesting. I was like, oh, what's going on there?
Yeah.
But it is the rind again that's doing that. The texture's fine. I think it's a 9.5.
Yeah, absolutely. For me,
guys, 9 or 9.5?
9. Let's go for a 9.
9.
Flavor wise, I'm gonna have to say 5, or maybe even 4.
I was going to say 5. 5 on flavor.
It's very one-dimensional. It's almost got a bit of a chemically kind of burnt flavor to it, which could be bacony. That's where you want it to go. You want it to go meaty and brothy, like the rind might suggest, but it doesn't go there. It comes off a bit artificial.
Yeah.
And I think it's much too salted. I think it's a few % over on the salt as well. If you agree, James.
Okay.
What do you guys? Thank you very much. We'll stick with a 5 on that one then. If we can then move on to 1110, please.
1110. This is a really bold, brash orange. Look at this.
Wow.
It's been tangoed. Really wrinkly, crinkly on the outside.
So this for me looks all right, doesn't it? I'm guessing it's a little bit Epoisse style.
Yeah.
Got an interesting
herbal, minty almost off mine.
It's got that ammonia, quite a bit of ammonia off the cheese, which is normal. There are some there's some Penicillium candidum trying to grow through the brevy there as well.
Yes, see that
so
mine here.
It's having a bit of a battle with the molds there.
It feels quite firm as well, doesn't it? It's quite firm.
It's quite firm. It's gone into a cold store for a little while. It's got some vermiculation there as well, as you can see around the rind, around the outside, where how it's sort of like, but it's a bit less on the top, but it's got some side there.
Yeah.
So it's been a little bit suppressed, I think, by the way it's been aged.
It's got some little holes in.
Firm to cut.
Yes.
A nice fruity smell.
Yeah,
on the
fruit
nose.
again.
On the paste, fruity. It's got a lovely smell in the heart.
Fruity bake again, the bacony.
Yeah, as you'd associate with a washed rind cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, gonna go in. Here we go.
Go on in.
So this one's slightly chalkier towards the middle.
Guys, mind holding it up so we can see center as well?
Oh, I did do that a second ago.
Thank you.
Did like a little, got little holes in it. It's quite milky.
What's happened here is that the cheese has been allowed to develop in its hachoir, in its room, probably about 14, 15 degrees, about 80, 90% of humidity or a little bit further. It's broken down quite a lot. If you can look at the halo on the outside, you can just see
Yeah.
that, and there's a core which is slightly more firmer. Because of the way that it was finished, it seems to be firm all the way through now. So that proteolysis, that breakdown, lipolysis and lipolysis, that's the fats and proteins being broken down by the brevi on the outside as the, so basically as the mold, the brevibacchus is engendering itself on the outside, then it starts to eat up the lactic acid underneath, etc. You're going to get that lovely paste, that halo, but it's really firm, so it's quite interesting. So what I'm thinking is that they've taken this and they see it got it to a point. And I thought, right, quick, let's get this cold. Maybe, potentially, possibly not correct in my assumption there. I'm thinking that this has gone into a colder store, and that's why it's quite dry. As a result, it's not as moist.
It's very.
Sadly, it's a little bit. It's quite firm all over, although it has that pudginess there. You can see it now when I'm squeezing it.
Yeah.
It's got that pudginess now as it's warming up a bit, but it has been maybe a bit too cold.
It's very salty. Again, for me, this has gone. It's got too much salt in it, and the overpower. You can't really. I'm not getting a great deal out of it flavor-wise. A bit of sharpness, like a bit of lactic, but quite overpoweringly salty.
Very salty.
Yeah.
A bit fruity and brothy, but yeah, let's judge it.
Yeah.
So to look, I think presentation. I think it's a 7 from me, 7, 8 from me because of the way that the rind broken down.
Mine's got a few sort of divots and things in it, so
yeah,
like here, for example.
7.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
The smell is
quite pleasant. It's meaty, brothy. I would go for an 8 or a 9.
I'd probably go for an 8.
Yeah.
It seems to be not as overly developed.
Yeah.
Let's bear with me. I just have to pause a second. Sorry.
So I think, as we said, the rind is the smell of the cheese. Excuse me, the smell of the cheese is where we're at now. I think we would like to give that a 6 or a 7, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
7. 6.5.
Yeah, let's go for a 6.5.
6.5. And as far as the texture is concerned, I'm going to go for a 7.
Yeah, I would have gone for a 6.5 or a 7. It needs to yield a little bit for the way it looks as well. You want it to yield a little bit more under the rind and be a bit sexier.
Yes, a sexier yield. Very good. And the flavour is quite dominated, quite salty, very salty.
Really salty. It needs to come down to a few percent.
Which lets it down. It's quite short and salty. And yes, I'm sorry. It's a little bit fruity, which is nice. There is a slight brothy look, but it's mainly quite salt driven, I'm afraid. So I'm going to give this a 6.
Yeah, I would even go for a 5 or a 5 and 5.
5.5.
For me, yeah, I find the flavour quite disappointing. I want that bacony, brothy. I want that aroma to infiltrate the cheese, and it's just for me not doing that. It's quite underdeveloped on the palate, I think. Sorry.
5.5.
Yeah.
5.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
The next
Ultimate cheese, guys. 1135.
This is very gooey.
There we go. Wow. That's ammonia.
It's very, very strong. It's very overpoweringly ammonia. The rind's broken down quite a lot on mine. I've got about an inch of sort of broken down paste right underneath the rind here.
Yeah.
And then sort of quite a chalky, almost sort of like Caerphilly style sort of texture middle part.
So this is a cheese of three sections. We've got the rind, which looks mental.
Mm.
We've got a massive breakdown under the rind of amazing fudgy kind of ooziness. I'm going to try the rind now.
Mm. I've gone in for the middle first. It looks the mild. The middle is very, very Caerphilly. It's really very milky, very crumbly, fresh, lactic. It's not something you would expect with a washed rind cheese. I'm going to the next bit now under the rind. So under the right, so you've got like the fresh milk in the middle. Then you go towards butter as you get to the sort of fudgy paste, and then the rind. It's quite leathery, ammonia-y. That's not even a word.
It can be your word.
It's my word. It's a very. I don't think I've ever had a washed rind cheese quite like it. Have you, James? You must have done in your.
No, I don't think I have. Well, I have, but not for a long time. I think I know who this is as well.
I think it's really. You can if I cut a section through the middle, it really is like you say a cheese of three parts. It's like cutting into the earth. Kind of get all the different parts there. But
do they marry well?
They're pretty good.
um
For me, it's pretty good. I mean, I've just done the three section,
mm,
and I'm getting an amazing note from the rind, which the ammonia doesn't come from when you're tasting it like this.
I'm good. Yeah, with when it's all together, you don't really get that. But if you're having the rind on its own, it's a very unusual washed rind cheese, I'd say.
And the flavor, there's quite a lot of salt again to it, but it's like a glass of milk, and that crumbly, that traditional crumbly British make note to the heart, like Cheshire, Caerphilly, etc., Gloucester.
Victoria.
You're getting that kind of crumbly note in the heart of the cheese. The breakdown under the rind is not quite as fudgy as some of those British territorials.
Yeah.
Not quite as fudgy. Yeah. But no, it's a very interesting cheese.
It's very interesting.
It's not massive on flavors.
It is again quite one dimensional, but I guess like I said, it does go from lactic, fresh, milky Caerphilly Cheshire into buttery. The other cheeses we've tried are quite continental in their style. This doesn't feel like it's trying to be a French cheese or Italian cheese, for example. It feels like a British maker doing turning a territorial into a washed rind cheese.
Like yogurty.
Yeah, it has, especially particularly in the very middle. It's really
very
fresh.
Loose, very loose there. How loose that is.
Yeah, really fresh.
Well, let's judge this one. So the rind is massively ammoniated. I'm giving that a 7. It's incredibly ammoniated.
I would even go for a 6.
Sorry, guys, can we go back to appearance?
Oh yeah, that's what I thought we were doing.
Appearance, my bad. Very difficult to see what it looks like with what we've got. So I'm going to give it a 9.
Okay, so I'd gone low just because mine looks a bit haggard. but actually, when you're slicing through, it does look very.
I think
it does look really cool.
I think 8, 9. I think we can't. I'm just
8?
thinking about transportation and everything else. I think 8, 9 would be fine for
Should we
Yeah,
go
8.5.
8.5? 8.5.
8.5, yeah.
But if you were having it on a cheese board and you'd cut it like this, if you take away the fact that the wheel, it would be quite striking on a cheese board like that, wouldn't it? People would be like, what is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting, the breakdown as well. So the
Yeah.
next thing is the aroma. The aroma, I'm going 6, 7, I think.
Yeah,
Very, very dominated.
very dominated by ammonia. It's giving me swimming pool vibes. like a chlorinated.
Oh, swimming pool vibes. I wouldn't mind going to a swimming pool now, actually. Oh, hello.
oh god.
Here's my cheese.
Yeah, for me it's I'm smell wise, I'm a 5 or a 6. It doesn't make me want to dive in.
6 then.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then texture. Texture is very interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
Very, very interesting.
It's probably quite a tough one because, like, as you well said, it's a cheese of 3 parts.
Yeah.
It's really interesting because there's no way that would become fully broken down, but it's broken down from the side of the cheese about 12, 14 mils, which is nuts. But it won't go any further. It can't go any further. It just wouldn't do that.
No,
so that's
feels...
how the cheese is going to be. So I think it's a 9 from me, 8.5 from me.
Yeah, I would go with that as well. I think it's obviously like a lot of sort of washed, well, a lot of bloomy rinded cheeses will have a slightly chalky middle, but they're not. They don't go. They're not this. They're not to this extent, are they? And you have
no.
Yeah, I haven't had a cheese like it in texture before.
Yeah.
I think it's really interesting addition to a cheese board or to a cheese shop. I think it's really unique.
Are we going to go for the 9, guys?
Yeah. I thought, did we go for an 8? Should we go for a 9 or 8.5?
8.5.
8.5.
8.5.
And taste, for me, I'm getting yogurt, freshness. I'm getting not as much kind of massive difference from the paste underneath the rind directly, where it's broken down. The rind is giving me more meaty notes as I eat the cheese as a whole, but I'm getting this glass of milk, sour cream, yogurt note from the heart of the cheese, quite heritage cheese style, like Philly, as Charlotte first touched on, Cheshire cheese sort of style. And it's quite drying in the middle as well, very dry compared to the rest of the cheese, which has an effect on my palate as well. So I'm going to give this an 8.
Yeah, I would go for an 8 as well. I think it's a cheese of three parts, and I think I quite enjoy, even though it's not as funk forward as a traditional washed rind that we would expect would be. I really enjoy that lactic, fresh, yogurty, sort of sweet center, and the way it sort of develops into butteriness on the outside and a little bit more complexity on the edge. I think it's quite an interesting cheese.
Another go at.
Perfect.
So that's an 8 then for flavour.
That was an 8, yeah.
Lovely. Yeah. Okay, guys, and finally we are going on to E21191.
Oh, she's very sticky. A little bit of blue under the rind, quite brain-like. Oh, you can see mine. The paste is just dissolving under my hands. I need to put this down. It's going to fall apart. It's really broken down, mine. You have to go in to sniff it.
Very funky.
Yeah.
Alcohol.
Again, bacon.
Yeah. What I'd expect on the smell. Yes. So I think if we were to grade the smell on that, I'm probably going to go 9.
Yeah, I agree.
Would you say 9?
Yeah, I would say 9. It smells like you expect.
So we've done one of them already there, Karen. We've done the smell 9.
Not making my life easy today, mate, but there we go.
Okay. And then we're looking to There we go. Have a look at that. Lovely jubbly.
Is yours
Cut it
as
a bit.
gooey? Is yours as gooey as mine, James? Mine's really quite broken. Like mine's smashing apart as I cut into it.
It's definitely gooey. I'm handling it firmly, but I know if I
I'm doing
handle it
quite
much
delicately.
more, I'll probably let go of it. There's a nice
Ah.
shot there for the camera.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Very squidgy didgy, this one.
Right, so this has got different molds engendered on the rind.
Have a go.
Quite fruity on the nose.
Yeah.
Mm. Opal fruits. Or can you call them opal fruits anymore? They call something else,
Don't
don't
think
they?
so.
Starburst.
Starburst, yeah.
Yeah, it's got that. It has got that bit of fruit, a bit of funk, a bit of farmyard.
Wow.
Quite
It's got
clean,
some.
quite clean in the palate. It's not cloying.
No. Lovely texture.
I really like where it's broken down on directly under the rind, although it's difficult to pick it up. That's giving me a bit more of that brothiness.
It's a lovely texture. There's a nice brothiness to it. There's a nice journey to the cheese as well. I was worried about the salt for a minute, but actually it works.
It's on the cusp of the salt, I would say. If I took it any further, it would be too much.
Nice
Really
cheese.
well balanced, though.
Yeah, it's nicely balanced.
Meaty, brothy, yeah, great stuff. So as far as the smell of the cheese is concerned, I think it's a good smell. There's nothing bad, nothing I'd expect. I'm looking at a 9.5 for that.
I think you gave it a 9 before, but do you want to amend that?
No, sorry, we've done that.
Yeah.
9.
Yeah,
We agreed.
I'm a 9 as well.
Go
So
back
the
to
next part is
appearance then, guys.
Pardon?
Sorry.
We judge appearance then.
Appearance cracking. There are molds on the outside, but I do believe that this is part of the cheese.
Yeah.
Which you're wiping off actually. And what does this go in as category, please? Can you tell me?
This category is wash rind.
Okay, so I think the appearance should be then in that scenario. I've got definitely got some mucor on the outside, some black molds on the outside of my one. So I need to mark that down as a result. So I'm going to go 7.
Yeah, I've got similar on mine. It's not penicillium on mine. It's black. It is black, and it's a little. And also mine's a little bit too broken down. Like it's dissolving. It's kind of eating itself. So I'd be happy with a 7.
Yeah.
So next you gave the 9 for the aroma. Texture.
Yeah.
Texture for me is a 9.
Yeah.
Like it.
Yeah.
Very easy.
Yeah. Really enjoy it. The texture.
And finally, flavour.
Flavour, I'm looking at about 8.59 again.
Yeah, I'm erring towards an 8 or an 8.5. I'd be happy with an 8.5. For me, it's missing that tiny little bit of X factor at the end, that length of finish, and that little whack that I want in my mouth.
Yeah,
the slap around the face. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Oh, chapesses.
That was a lot of cheese.
It's a lot of cheese, and I'm really excited to let you know we have joint winners of this class. Wonderfully high score. We're looking at firstly cheese number E21133.
Yeah.
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 And then cheese number E21214.
Yeah.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. I
That's it.
concur. Yeah, that
Yeah, I
looking at them
concur as
all.
well. So they can both go through as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
looking at them both looking at all the cheese in front of me now. Yeah, those are the two I'm picking out immediately and going. Yeah,
It's funny if you look at a board like
Fantastic.
that as well. They would be the ones that I go for straight away.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Okay, so just to recap, the winners of the wash frying class E2 are cheese 1214
Yeah,
and cheese 1133.
splendid.
yeah,
Wonderful.
perfect.
So again, we'd like to thank Butler's Farmhouse Cheeses for sponsoring our aprons this year, and Miller's for their fabulous crackers and being our sponsor cracker. Charlotte and James, thank you so much for a brilliant, brilliant morning of
No worries.
judging.
Thank
It's
you.
been incredibly educational, and I'm delighted to have had you guys paired up there.
Thank you.
The two winning cheeses will go through to the category final on Tuesday, the 10th of June, and then
Yeah.
our grand final will be on Wednesday, the 11th, revealing the very best of British cheese, along with the awards that recognise the talented and amazingly passionate people of our industry. The day will culminate in the award of our Supreme Champion for 2025. Guys, thank you once again.
Thank
No
you.
worries.
And
Lovely
see
to
you
spend
soon.
time with you guys eating cheese.
Thanks, Charlotte.
Thank you.
When have I got
Thank
to
you,
do my
James.
columns next week? Yeah, sorry, I forgot.